Welcome to this webwatchworld.com video. This time we're taking a look at some Raketa 24-hour wristwatches and pocket watches. Please visit webwatchworld.com for the full review and detailed photos of these wristwatches and many more. Raketa is an old watchmaking firm in Russia that has been in business for many years. They've recently gone through a reorganization and they've released some new watch designs, so these classic Raketa 24-hour watches may not be around for very long. 24-hour watches are a lot of fun, and these Raketas are a cheap and easy way to learn about 24-hour timekeeping while impressing your friends. It's always fun when someone looks at your watch and thinks it's wrong, when in fact it's exactly right. These watches can be found for around $35 to $60 plus shipping from Russia or Europe. They're built like most of the other lower-end Russian watches, not a lot of frills but rough and rugged, and like all of the other Russian watches I've owned, these are surprisingly accurate. This is the very rare Raketa yellow pilot watch. The 24-hour markings are on the inner ring, and a sort of pilot marking was placed on the outside at 5-second intervals. This one is without lume, and it has the thin hands, which are supposed to be correct for this series of Raketa wristwatches. After a brief period of adjustment, it's actually pretty easy to tell the time with a 24-hour watch. It's no problem at all until noon, which is the classic 6 o'clock location on these watches, and then it becomes more interesting after that. Most of the Raketas come with the very cheap throwaway watch bands found on most inexpensive Russian watches, but this one came from a shop in Germany with this very nice Pebbled leather band installed. The semi-cushion case is typical of this style of Raketa watch, and it's almost a trademark. The watches wear very nicely with lightweight and low profiles. This one has a thick acrylic crystal that is easy to replace or polish if it gets scratched. There are no dates to worry about on these watches, so all you have to do is set it, wind it up, and let it go. They have a decent power reserve of about 36 hours or so, and they can be set using the poor man's hack by just putting some backward pressure on the stem to hold the seconds hand until it matches the standard time. The back of these are very plain, but it's really easy to access and adjust the movement by simply prying open the lid at the indent. The darker version of the Pilot watch is very popular with collectors. It has a pretty decent lume actually, and it's very accurate. These are very desirable and they can be hard to find. The standard watch band is pretty cheap looking, as you can see. Legend has it that the white polar version was built to commemorate some type of polar expedition. The dots across the top represent nighttime from 1800 to 0600 hours or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Here's a 32.5mm version of the Raketa 24-hour watch. This one is of questionable heritage. I think the factory may have had a lot of leftover parts and somebody put together some non-standard watches. The Raketa 24-hour watches used to be available in red, blue, white, and black faces also, so my original idea was to put together a collection of 24-hour wristwatches with matching 24-hour pocket watches. Here's one of the Raketa pocket watches. I really like these. They are very accurate and a lot of fun. I wear it around my neck sometimes on a neck keychain holder. You don't see many pocket watches today, and almost never see a 24-hour pocket watch, and these get a lot of comments, especially when you lay one out on a conference table at a meeting. These are also becoming very hard to find. So that's a quick look at some Raketa 24-hour wristwatches and pocket watches. There's a whole world of 24-hour watches out there, and this is an easy way to get involved for only around $50 or so. For more details, photos, and the full discussion of these Raketas and lots more, please visit webwatchworld.com. Thanks for watching.